that's great. They can do that, soccer, baseball, okay? The only thing is the major performances, I need them to be there, okay? So that's really important for that. Communication, okay? This is really important, and it's something I've struggled with the last couple years of finding an efficient way to communicate with you all the very important information you need, okay? So, the majority of communication I do is through Parent Square, okay? I think a lot of you got the Parent Square message, okay? It's great. It's just like email. It allows me to post all the important information, and what's great is you can go back and check on it, okay? Say I send out an email 2 weeks before the concert, it's the day before the concert, you forget what time it is, just go to the Parent Square, click on Percussion Ensemble, and it'll tell you right there. It's also great in case I make a mistake in an email, I might get the time wrong or something, I can edit it and let you know that I edited it, rather than checking on an email where it might have the wrong time and it might mess you up there. So Parent Square is great. It also does private messaging just like an email. Also with Parent Square, I can send events in the calendar. I can send practice materials, recordings and things for them to practice with, and things like that. Sometimes I can be a little excessive in my messages going out, and to be honest, it's just because people aren't always reading them, and their students aren't showing up when they need to show up, and things like that. They really hurt the whole group. So if everyone can read it when I send it out, then I won't have to send so many. Pay attention to the details, please. Everything I send is important, okay? I'd also like to have a parent run the Facebook account, because I know a lot of you guys are on Facebook all the time. So every message I send out, they can just copy and paste it into the Facebook. Might be cool. Okay, we have a music Facebook. If anyone's interested in that, you can let me know after. If you have a question for me, please don't text me or Facebook message me. Some of you have my number or Facebook. Send me a Parent Square message or an email. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And it's instant. It goes right to my phone, just like the text. For students, I want to set up a Google Classroom for Percussion Ensemble. I know in 4th grade they're not quite adept at using all that. So the majority of it will be through Parent Square. But as the year goes on, I'll teach them how to use practice materials on Google Classroom. It's pretty cool. It allows them to practice with that. Performances and sound checks. Okay, these performances are really important. This is what we practice for. This is why they get up early, 1 day a week, and they get out late on Fridays. Is for the performances, okay? So students need to be there, and they need to be on time. Okay, I give plenty of notice for the performances. For the spring concert, if it conflicts with one student's got a baseball game, my way of thinking is they might have 20 baseball games, but we have 2 concerts a year. Okay, so I really ask that you make the commitment to come to the events. Okay, there's not a whole lot, there really isn't, and I'll give plenty of time. Sound checks are also extremely important. It's for the way for the student to see what it's going to be like, to get any last minute practice, to hear what it's like. If they miss the sound check, their performance is much likely to be unsuccessful because they might mess up and they might feel really bad. So please make sure you make all the sound checks. Now, that's the one thing, if there's a minor conflict with the sound check, if you get a hold of me, at least a few days or a week early and say, hey, he's got a baseball game, I can leave a little bit early, but I'll have to miss the sound check. Is that okay? More than likely, I'm going to say, yeah, that's okay, as long as you give me some notice so I can plan. Or I can plan around it and ask you, okay, what time would work better? What if I did this? Okay? So please just communicate with me. Dropping out of Percussion Ensemble. Okay? I hope it doesn't happen, but every once in a while, every year there's 1 or 2 kids that they just realize it's not for them. They don't want to put in the time for practicing. They don't like getting up early. Please, there's a procedure that needs to happen for that to happen. Please just don't stop sending them, because they might have an important part. So let me know, and I like to speak with the parent, either on the phone or one-on-one, just so I can see why it's not working out in a way for them to move on with that, okay? This year I'm starting something called reflection forms. It's my way of communicating to parents when things aren't meeting my expectations, and it's a way for the students to come up with a plan to meet my expectations, okay? And I've been using it with band, and so far it's been really successful, okay? So I have, if a student comes here and they forgot their music folder and their drumsticks, I would give them a reflection form that says they didn't bring the required materials. On the form, it's got a few lines for them to write. What's your plan? How can you remember to do this? A lot of times it's, I'll make sure it's in my backpack on Tuesdays. I'll keep my music folder right by the door, that kind of thing. And for the most part, it's been working out well, okay? Or if a student's constantly being disruptive, I'm going to send him one to kind of inform the parents so we're on the same page with finding a way around it, okay? Now, I'm sure just about every student here is going to get a reflection form at one point or another in the year. We all make mistakes, except for me. But, so if they get one, don't be too hard on them. Talk about a plan. But if they start bringing home 3 or 4, then please sit down with them and come up with the plan so it doesn't happen. Okay. When music's a little bit different, when a student isn't performing to where they need to be musically, it's going to hold the whole group back. Okay. And with drums, playing a certain thing, all it takes is one kid to be out of time or playing during the wrong time for it to really just kind of kill the performance. So it's really important that students are kind of pulling their weight, being responsible with things. Okay. Practice. The students need to be practicing at home. Not a whole lot. Okay. So we have the rehearsals at school. That's to kind of put things together, and to teach them what to practice at home. So if they can practice 10, 15 minutes, 4 or 5 days a week, that's what's really important, okay? And especially before performance, they need to practice to learn their part. 2 rehearsals a week is not enough time to teach them how to play the music we want to do and get the learning done, okay? So please encourage them at home. I make a point to create practice materials, usually like YouTube videos, for them to play along or to hear how their part's supposed to go so they can play along with that. I'll send them out on Parent Square. That's a really great way to practice. Put them, if you got a computer that they can, put headphones on, you can put them in a room to practice with that. They can get a lot done, okay? Or even if time's really tight, play a record, give them to watch the YouTube video as they're on their way to school or something. Just having them hear it is really important, okay? So that's the one thing students we need to commit to. I know you got a lot of things going on, different sports and things, but they are going to have to find some time to practice for this to work. Okay, it's not just all at school. They do have to put in some time at home. How parents can help. This year, I want to start a parent council. Okay, and that's with the band. I'd like to have one parent kind of take on different roles. Okay, someone to coordinate the fundraising. So they would meet with Mr. Howe and kind of come up with different options and plans from there. Hold on, guys, we're almost done. Someone to coordinate volunteers before the concert. I might need volunteers to help carry stuff and that thing. If I can have someone be in charge of reaching out to everybody and kind of planning on who's doing that, that would be great. T-shirt and picture sales coordinator. Last year we had a mom kind of take care of the logistics side of the t-shirts, and that was great. I think she's going to do it again this year, but maybe we could have someone do it for pictures. Okay, and that would just be counting, the forms and the money and handling that kind of thing. That would really help me. my strong suit is music. I've got a lot of training in music. Organization and logistical stuff is not my strong suit. So the more time I spend on that stuff and less time on the music, it's not going to be as good. So I could use some help with that. And then last, an official videographer. If I can get someone with a decent camera to set up maybe a tripod for the concerts so we can get one good quality video that I can distribute to everybody, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. Maybe we could rotate or find a way to do that. You know, the cell phone things are pretty cool, you know, but you usually zoomed in on your kid and it's shaky and, you know, this kid next to you is whining, you know, so I'd like us to have a nice video. Okay, believe it or not, when I was a kid, their age, I have videos of when I was a kid, back in the old VHS days. And it's great. You know, every once in a while I'll go look at it and say, yeah, it's cool. Little kids playing music. You know, it's nice to have that. Okay. One thing about being punctual with music, it takes time to get set up. It takes time for them to get their drum, to get their sticks out, to put their music in order on the stand. So please, if I ask you to bring them at the sound check at 4, don't drop them off in front of the place at 4. Okay, by the time they come in, they walk in, it takes them at least 5 minutes to get set up, to find their sticks, or oh, where's the drum? All of a sudden, we've lost half the sound check time and we can't really get much done. Okay? With music, please be a little bit early, or drop them off 5 minutes early so they're there ready to play at that time. Okay, it's really important. Okay? Like I said earlier, all it takes is a couple students to not be with it to really kind of ruin it for everyone else. Okay? Please encourage them to practice. All right? It does need general minding. You know, 4th grade is a very young age for responsibilities. I'm sure a lot of you know. One thing that hurts is, please don't joke with them about how they sound, because they're really self-conscious about it. You might be just showing them like, hey, what were you hitting over there or something. But believe it or not, when the kids practicing at home, sometimes they're really nervous at how they sound. So please be really supportive, okay? It takes time to sound good. It really does. Okay, yeah, that's most of the important information. Please keep the handbook. It's got a lot of information in it. Okay. Keep it somewhere safe. Okay, so if you have a question, check the handbook first. You know, I'd spend a long time trying to put everything in here nice and clear. I get a ton of emails every day, and it gets frustrating when they're asking me questions I already sent out or things like that. So check out the handbook. That would help me a lot. And so, sign-ups. Okay, on the back page is the registration form. Okay, it has their information, your information, in case I need to get a hold of you. Say we're doing something off campus. So it ends up being an emergency form too. I take with me, so please fill it out. You know. It's also got any other info the instructor needs to be aware of. If there's any medical things or allergies, please let me know in there. And then there's 3 signatures. The student needs to acknowledge that they will adhere to the responsibilities of the Percussion Ensemble in the handbook. Okay? This is really important to get them to own it and go, look, this is what you committed to. Second is parents. Sign that you're willing to support the kid doing that and that you've seen the handbook. Okay? And then their teacher. Their teacher holds the right to keep them away from Percussion Ensemble. If they're falling behind in class, they might say, hey, you know what? He's not really cutting it in class. When he leaves on Fridays, he's missing. He's not making up his work. I think we're going to have to take him from Percussion Ensemble. And you know, that's fair, just like sports. So that I need the teachers to sign off that they approve of it as well. Okay. Are there any major questions? Or any questions? Any questions, of course. Oh, yes, thank you. I would like to start next week. So Tuesday morning. Okay. If you don't have a chance to get a practice pad and sticks by then, it's okay this week. Okay. But if you can't, try to get it. You know, like I said, most music stores have it. You can get them online. So Tuesday will be the 4th grade. Okay. Thursday will be the 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. And then Friday, keep in mind next Friday, they will be dismissed 15 minutes late here. So please